Yes, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Omkar Rajendra.
Omkar Rajendra Shinde, sir.
Okay. Shall we call you Omkar?
Yes,
for this
sir.
interview?
Yes.
Omkar, tell us very briefly about your academic qualifications, your work experience, if you have worked, and your main hobbies.
Sir, I have done my schooling from Kolhapur military school, and thereafter I done my graduation in BSc Agriculture from Padma Bhushan Vasantdada Patil College, Mahatma Phule University in 2017. And my hobbies are playing basketball as well as solving Rubik cubes and cooking Maharashtrian food dishes.
So, Omkar, you have done BSc Agriculture, which is generally not pursued by too many people,
Yes, sir.
young boys these days. So, with this BSc Agriculture qualification and in agriculture, I mean, there's so much of scope today. So, what brought you to take up civil services? Why do you want to get into this line?
Sir, I think civil services will provide me a wide range of opportunities. I can work in agriculture field also as well as in other fields also. So I thought this new opportunities and new experiences will help me to utilize my whatever skill sets I have in very diverse manners. So that's why I chose a
What
civil.
are those skill sets that you think that you would be able to use?
Sir, I believe that I am an enthusiastic and compassionate person, and I understand the role of leader and when to become a leader and when to act as a team player. I also understand the what is the importance of teamwork and how to utilize the talent or the skill sets of other people to get the work done.
So, suppose let's see, as a leader, you have got into the civil services and you are district collector of Kolhapur. Now, you face a drought, massive drought in Kolhapur. Now, as collector, who is the leader, what action points you will have in mind? How would you act? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me very cogent points.
Firstly, sir, I will ensure that the adequate amount of water is available for the drinking purposes. Secondly, I will see that is any other water sources are available in the near locality from where the water can be bring for the immediate need or the daily needs of the people. Thirdly, on the long-term basis, I will, with the help of agriculture department as well as the water department and the concerned stakeholders, I will try to increase the watershed management practices or the rainwater harvesting practices in the long run, so that the availability of water is increased.
What else? Do
As
you
of
bother
now-
about the cattle also?
Yes, sir. As I said, I will definitely look into the immediate needs of the people who are in the locality. So to meet their needs, I will look into the nearby sources of the waters to ensure that the cattle and the all the life.
So Omkar, tell me, you are from Maharashtra.
Yes,
Maharashtra was one of the pioneer states for cooperative movement.
yes, sir.
Now, cooperative, some years ago, 1 or 2, 3 decades ago, had a very major role in agriculture.
Yes, sir.
But gradually it is coming down. You think it is coming down, and why?
So there are some challenges in this cooperative sector. For example, the management of these cooperatives is not up to the professional levels as compared to the other organizations, and there is some sort of some political interventions also in these cooperatives, mainly in terms of sugar cooperatives. They are facing some challenges because of availability of the sugar cane and the price policy which government has adopted for the sugar cane. So there are some challenges in these cooperatives, but they are working on it, I think.
What does a farmer get from cooperative societies to cultivate his land? Let us be specific.
So farmer is a member of cooperative. So he gets the voting right in terms of when the election are there of the cooperative societies, and he gets an assurance that the cooperative society will purchase the produce. For example, the sugarcane. If he is growing the sugarcane in his plot, then he gets the assurance from the cooperative that the produce which is there in his farm, it will be taken by the cooperative, and he'll get the prices as per mandated by the government.
So, cooperative ministry, the government of India has made a new ministry called cooperative ministry. Do you think this cooperative ministry constitution will give a push to the cooperative movement in this country?
Yes, sir. I think it will definitely give a push to the cooperative industry in the country, because the very fact that we are this cooperative movement is based on the Gandhiji's principle that the people of the locality they'll come together, they'll pull in their resources, and they will try to get the economic benefits out of these resources. So I
So
think
can the cooperative ministry guide and direct the state cooperatives?
sorry, sir, I'm not exactly aware about can it
Who looks after the cooperative societies in a state?
So the state register of cooperatives, it is the body which looks after the state cooperatives.
Okay, my last question, Indo-Pacific region. What are the challenges for India?
Sir, in the Indo-Pacific region, there are several challenges. For example, first one is the China's growing expansionism in the Indo-Pacific. This is the first and foremost challenge. Secondly, sir, there are challenges related to the some non-state actors like smuggling and sea piracy is there in the Somalian or the North Horn of Africa region. As well as there are some natural challenges like disasters.
So if Russia wins this war, claims victory, you think China will also get into expansionism and try to seize Taiwan?
Sir, I think many foreign policy experts are saying that Russia is closely observing this. China is closely observing the Russia-Ukraine crisis, and they are observing this situation as a template for to get the Taiwan in their territory. So I think China might take this step, but it will be very cautious because they have seen how world has reacted to the Russian aggression or the invasion in the Ukraine.
So tell me from India's point of view, would you wish Russia to be victorious, then take the challenge because of China's expansionism, or you want the other way around?
No, sir. I will say that both parties. I will go with the stand of the government that both parties should immediately stop the violence, and they should come on the table of dialogue, and they should resolve their security
My
challenges.
point is very straight. Is it in India's interest that Russia should lose?
No, sir. If I have to answer in yes or no, then my answer will be no. It is not in the Indian
Why?
interest that Russia should lose.
Right.
Because sir, Russia is very time-tested partner for India. In the many occasions in the past, Russia has helped in the United Nations India to veto the Kashmir resolutions, as well as we have a strategic partnership.
No, but this
with
will
Russia.
continue even if Russia loses. If they become weaker, they will help India more. Today, India is getting oil at a lesser price. It's because Russia has nobody to buy from, sell to.
Yes, sir. But we are expanding our relations beyond the oil and defense with Russia, and we are trying to increase our relationship in terms of economy, trade. So, but if the Russia loses the war or it gets in under the heavy sanctions by the Western countries, then India it will be in the it will not be in the favor of India to deal with Russia.
Very good, Omkar. Now I would like to understand from you
Yes.
What are genetically modified crops, and which are the primary genetically modified crops in India?
So genetically modified crops are the crops which contains a foreign gene or a gene from the any different organisms into the plant. And these the main reason this gene is inserted into the plant is to provide some kind of benefit. For example, a disease resistant, or to increase the yield, or some oil percentage if it is a oilseed crop. As far as India is concerned, there is a one genetically modified crop, that is a BT cotton. And recently we are trying to introduce one more which is a GM mustard.
Brinjal, potato. You mentioned potato. You mentioned BT cotton. What about brinjal and
Sir,
mustard?
GM mustard we are trying to
Okay, we'll go. In what way is it different from tissue culture? GT modification, in what way is it different from tissue culture?
Sir, in case of tissue culture, the explant of the plant is cultivated in the laboratory on the particular medium or a growth medium, and once it gets a rooting bodies, then the plant is transferred into the field. Whereas in case of genetically modified crop, the seeds itself are the contains that particular gene of interest, and then they can be directly planted into the field.
Okay, my another question in respect of BT cotton, you mentioned BT cotton, is that it is alleged that BT cotton cultivation is responsible for the large number of farmer suicides in Maharashtra. How would you amplify the statement, agreeing or disagreeing with it?
Sir, I will agree with your statement, because there are certain apprehensions that BT cotton, as it was working or as it was giving the yield in the previous times, it is not able to give in the recent times, because the yield is continuously reducing, as well as the pest, the bollworm pest, it is developing some kind of resistance now to the BT cotton. So the basic principle, as it was resistant to the bollworm, it is not being seen as of now. So farmers are pushed to have more pesticides to apply on the crops. Still, they are getting the low yields, and maybe because of that, there are some reasons.
So if I were to conclude, it is the heavy expenditure and the poor yield and the unpredictability that is leading to farmer suicides?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Omkar, now we come to another question of agriculture. Very important. In northern India, it is known as Usar, non-arable land, poor quality land. It is made more fertile by the use of blue-green algae. Can you tell me what is the process of reclaiming that non-arable land through the use of blue-green algae and making it more fertile? And
Yes,
what is
sir.
the procedure?
Yes. So the blue-green algae is a biofertilizer, and when we apply
Can
this,
you name that particular blue-green algae?
sorry, sir.
Never
I
mind,
think,
go ahead.
The blue-green algae is a biofertilizer, and it is used in this non-arable lands. And when we increase its application, it leads to the creation of organic matter and the humus in the soil. And because of this, it increases the.
You are a scientist and you should express yourself as a scientist. I could say that as a journalist. How does this blue-green algae exactly make it more fertile?
So as far as I know,
Never mind. We'll go to the next question. You are seem to be passionate about the police service because it's your priority number 2 vis-a-vis Indian Foreign Service, which is number 5.
Sir.
Mumbai Police Force, one of the finest police forces in the world, not even the country but in the world. But the horrible things that have happened in the last 4 months, and the police commissioner absconded, the Home Minister is in jail, the so-called encounter specialist was almost had a live-in kind of an experience in the police commissioner's office. I would like to understand what is the meaning of encounter specialist. Who's an encounter specialist?
Sir, this is a term which is generally used by public for the police officers who might be given a task to eliminate the criminals.
Is it legal or illegal to eliminate people?
Sir, as we go as per the law, I think it is an illegal act done by the police.
So those encounters that happen, do you think all encounters are illegal?
No,
Or
sir.
there is a legal mandate also within which encounters do happen. My
Yes.
last question is this.
Yes, sir. Sir, all the encounters which happens are not illegal. There are some legal mandates or the legal procedures in case that police officer can fire in his self-defense or in other cases. I think there are some encounters that might be done in the self-defense, but there are some apprehensions that some of the encounters are not been well explained. So people they just question on these encounters.
That will be okay. Thank you.
Mr. Shinde, you started well. Tell me, you are a product of a military school,
Yes.
or what we understand the Sainik school, isn't
Yes.
it? So, how many years were you there in the military school?
Sir, I was there for 6 years, from my 5th standard to 10th standard.
All right. And did you ever think of joining defense and going appearing for SSB, NDA, IMA? Did you?
No, sir, I did not think. But actually, I applied for CAPF through UPSC exams.
CAPF is all right, but I just want to know, for my curiosity, when you were there for 6 years, all your classmates must be thinking of joining army or pursuing armed forces as a career. So what prevented you from going? You got a good height, you were a basketball player and everything. So what prevented you?
Sir, I believe that, or I thought that by getting into the army, I will be having a limited scope to work on. But by getting into the civil services, I'll get the diverse opportunities to work in the various fields. So that's why I chose as a civil services as a career instead of going into the military department.
So did the military school help you in sort of in a regimen, in discipline, teamwork? Did it help?
Yes, sir.
Look
Yes, sir.
forward?
Definitely it helped me. Since my in terms of sports, I'm a state basketball level player. So the coaching I got in the military school, it really helped me, and it taught me how to do a teamwork, as well as it made me very disciplined and helped me to manage my plans and the future, how to go about things which I have to do in the one day or in the next week or 1 month. The planning process, it helped me a lot.
Okay. Now I noticed that from 10th and 12th, when you did with English, Marathi, Maths, Physics, Chemistry and Biology as a subject, then you were coming as BSc Agriculture. 2013, then 2017 you passed out. Was this course 4 years, BSc Agriculture?
Yes, sir, it was
4 years. And you have agronomy, botany, soil science, everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Somehow your marks are not shown here, not that I am particularly interested in that, but you felt happy doing agriculture and then also thinking of joining the civil services.
Yes, sir. I really enjoyed my graduation. I learned many new things in graduation.
Have you ever thought, like in the military school and later you thought that if you join the civil services, you'll be doing a variety of things, unlike in military where the scope was limited? That was your perception. I want to know, when with your agriculture background, educational background, you joined the civil services, have you ever thought as a district collector or a commissioner in whichever state you are allotted, you will be to do well in the development projects with agriculture, new means? Have you ever thought of it?
So while in agriculture,
No. If you are posted, say, as a district collector anywhere in India, then with your agriculture background, how best to appropriate that? How best to use that, your academic background, in the development schemes, agriculture development, etc. Have you ever thought of that? This is my question.
Yes, sir. I have thought that, because, sir, during my last year of graduation, we had a long internship program in the rural areas. So there, when I interacted with the people, the rural people in the villages, I really felt that, yes, I understand the perception of the people and I know how to interact with them. And if I get into the civil services, definitely it will work. It will help me into administration and implementation of various schemes on the grassroots level.
All right. Point taken. Suppose you are, last question, you are allotted Maharashtra cadre. We have been hearing about the rise in farmer suicide cases there for whatever reasons. So you think you will be able to contribute, being an authority or enjoying so many powers as a district magistrate or a commissioner, to bring down or interaction with farmers? Have you ever thought of it? How to bring it down? You tell me just one example. What is your thinking? Let's know.
Yes, if I get in Maharashtra as a candidate, as I can speak a Marathi, I'll definitely interact with the farmers on very personal level. So I think it will help me to understand their psychology and what challenges they are facing in their life and why they are committing their suicides because of the farm distress. And I think this might help me in doing that.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Omkar, sir was asking about police encounters. You told that police can do encounter in self-defense. What about a civilian? Can a civilian kill a criminal in self-defense?
So I'm not sure about the exact legality, but if it is in a self-defense, I think it is. It can be done, but I'm not sure, sir.
If suppose some criminal, he wants to shoot you, can you kill him in self-defense?
I think yes, sir. If it is in the self-defense, yes, we can at least kill or at least stop the attack on the other possible way.
Suppose he wants to kill your friend and you are there. Can you kill him?
I'm not sure, sir, but I'll definitely try. If there is any other way to stop him doing that.
The law provides you the power in your self-defense or in defense of any other person. You can use that power. If the criminal wants to kill you or your friend or anybody else he wants to kill, you have got power under law, IPC. Certain conditions are there in the law that IPC provides. Second thing is you are from agriculture studies, and about Maharashtra, you pioneer in the matter of agriculture. Cooperative societies have done very well in Maharashtra. The suicide of farmers is also a very important issue. In your view, what should be done to prevent suicide of farmers?
So the major reason for suicide is that farmers are not able to repay their debt. So the solution can be to give them a assured source of irrigation, so that they can cultivate a crop in the 3 seasons. As of now, they are able to, as they are dependent on the rainfall, they are able to cultivate only in the Kharif season. And if the crop, if the rainfall is deficient, it is leading to the crop losses, and they are not in the position to repay the debt. So if we provide them a short source of irrigation, it will eventually lead to the higher amount of production and the productivity, and they will be in the position to repay their debts, and definitely it will reduce the farmer suicides.
Second thing, see, if farmers are growing sugarcane, which needs lot of water, can't you suggest that they should raise some other crop in which the water requirement is minimal? In that way, it can be helpful.
Definitely, sir. Some of the farmers in the Marathwada and Vidarbha region, where the suicide percentage is high, are still growing the sugarcane crop, which is not suitable to that particular agroclimatic conditions. So we can suggest them some pulses or millet crops or even a cotton, which can help them to use less water as well as to increase their productivity in the available water.
Is it being done?
Yes, sir. There are some steps have been taken to suggest the new cropping pattern to the farmers in these areas, and slowly the changes are visible. For example, the districts of Beed, Jalna, Amravati, they are not growing sugarcane as of now. They have shifted to the jowar or other pulses, even the cotton crop. So it is being done, or it's in the process.
But your knowledge and study of soil sciences, it can suggest that these are the crops which should be produced there, depending on the water availability and other factors.
Yes.
So the soil science knowledge of yours, it can be better utilized for mitigating the difficulty of farmers.
Yes, sir.
Then the government has a plan. Prime Minister has told that income of farmers has to be doubled by the year 2022. 2022. What are the steps taken in your area towards this goal, achieving this goal of doubling the income of farmers?
So there are several steps taken by the government. First was they to stop the misuse of urea, they started the neem coated urea, so that the urea will be particularly used in the agriculture fields only. Then they started one direct benefit transfer scheme which is called as PM Kisan. Then to increase the availability of water, government started Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. They are trying to increase the availability of water as well as the water use efficiency through the adoption of micro irrigation and drip or sprinkler irrigations. Government is also promoting the organic farming and zero budget natural farming to reduce the cost of production and increase the productivity of production. Recently, government took the reforms through the farm bills, which was unfortunately it was withdrawn by the government.
What about the crop insurance scheme of the government that can help us farmers so that they did not commit suicide?
Yes, sir. Sorry, thank you to remind. They have started the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Under that, they are providing crop insurance to the farmers for various pre-harvest as well as post-harvest operations. And but there are some challenges in implementation of this scheme because the subscription of the farmer is very low. That's why they are now trying to increase the subscription by the farmers to these schemes.
But I think the government is taking major step in improving their scheme so that farmers need not commit suicide because of crop failure.
So they are taking the steps, but still there are some challenges on the ground level because the exact benefits of the schemes are not being reached to the grassroots level to these particular areas of Marathwada and Vidarbha. As you mentioned, sir, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, the claim settlement has not up to the 100% level, as well as there are some delays in the supply of the premium of the state government sites. So these are some challenges related to this particular scheme on the ground level.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Omkar. Can you throw some light on major macroeconomic indicators of Indian economy in present times?
Yes. The first one is the current account deficit. Then second is the inflation, and third is the fiscal deficit of the country. These are the major macroeconomic indicators which tell us about the health of the economy.
So what is the position in these macroeconomic indications in present times?
Sir, as of now, I'm not exactly aware of about the digits, but
Roughly. Yeah, or you can share the trend.
So inflation is within the range of 2 to 6%. I think it's around the 3 or 4%. But in terms of fiscal deficit, we are recently, due to the COVID pandemic, it has increased to the 6.7% according to the last economic survey. Current account deficit, sorry sir, I'm not aware about that digits.
You are good in sports too. And can you suggest some ways sports like basketball, football, tennis, hockey can be made popular
Yes. So these sports are very technical sports, and they require proper infrastructure as well as coaching and expert advices from time to time to the players. So to increase the players to or the reach of these sports, we need to ensure that the high schools in the our country, they should get the proper grounds as well as the coaches, so that we can the, the students can play the games, as well as we need to use some youth icons which are there in the which are there already in the sports, to promote the benefits of the playing these sports and to popularize among the youths.
Thank you. I pass on to Chairman.
So, Omkar, you have heard about the new Land Acquisition Act provisions.
Yes.
In what manner has new Land Acquisition Act, which is not called as it is, but the earlier one has been repealed, it has helped the farmers whose lands may get acquired?
Sir, in the recent Land Acquisition Act, they have provided a procedure to acquire these land, and they have provided an adequate amount of money or the amount according to the recent conditions to be paid to the farmers. Government has also mandated that if the 90% of area of the land required for the project, if it is acquired, then only the project can go forward. So I think these are the major benefits of this act, which is.
Does it talk about rehabilitation and resettlement of farmers whose land has been taken?
Yes, sir, it talks about, but I'm not
You're not
exactly
very
aware
well.
about it.
Okay, my last question. We are celebrating the 75th year. What do you think, what are you proud of? Tell me 3-4 things about India that in 75 years, I'm proud of 1, 2, 3, 4 achievements.
I'm proud of the democracy that we have. We are the world's largest democracy, and since 75 years we are flourishing. Secondly, I'm proud of our military. They are serving the nation in the all weathers, be it in the Siachen or be it in the Rajasthan deserts. I'm proud of our grown status in the global arena, the global geopolitics. So I'm proud of these three things.
So, Omkar, we have covered our questions. Any one question which we could ask you would be from a topic or subject of your choice. So, if you can name a topic or subject, I will try to ask you a question.
So you can ask me a question on my hobby, maybe Rubik cubes.
Which hobby you want to? Solving Rubik's cube. All right. So this is your within your you do this within yourself, or you have gone beyond in public as well?
No, sir. As of now, I'm limited to myself. But definitely, if I get
So
more time,
how does it help you to entertain yourself or to make yourself happy?
sir, it improves my concentration very much, because when I solve the Rubik cubes, as of now, I can solve different 5 types of Rubik cubes in very less time. So it improves my accuracy as well as concentration when I'm solving that.
Thank you, Omkar.